Color TV. Color TV. Machiegni pacho. Ma e odwa.
Kaumos maga mag midhiambo janeno mar Kala TV kamoro mora maintie kageno ni chako jumamari ejinendo makare molo kanisa par ma midhiambo kama semolo ka endi mar mondo mi weche manyien e machuok kidienyendi mar Podho Chieng. Weche manyien gi kero ni kodan Tracy Ouma machiegni Jalup ker machon mapacho ka endi migosi Rigathi Gachagua gikoni to noduoko dhoge ne jatend migawo mar thieth migosi Aden Duale e wach mabende ne ibedo kiwacho pacho ka endi kod kweth mobalo kanyo kod piny owacho mane lieko ni ker mathur ka migosi William Ruto nitiere kod lwedo e mibadhi mar mo mabende nokel pacho ka endi ataro mar chik kane oloso Gachagua kono Duale mondo mi oket pache weche gi kuma mulongi majo Kenya mago mag thieth mano kaka kuma mar thieth mar SHA mabendo yango kanyo ni kidek ruombore e thuolo mar dweche 5 mabiro mbele.
I saw Aden Duale yesterday making a lot of noise, castigating retired President Uhuru Kenyatta and saying that President Uhuru Kenyatta humiliated William Ruto as deputy president. He made life difficult for him, and that Uhuru Kenyatta is the problem of Kenya. Aden Duale, let me tell you, don't talk about humiliation and persecution of a deputy president. President Uhuru Kenyatta never paid members of parliament to impeach William Ruto as deputy president. President Uhuru Kenyatta never sent goons and police to beat and tear gas William Ruto as deputy president. He allowed him to serve his term. President Uhuru Kenyatta never stopped William Ruto from moving around the country. He was everywhere. In this mountain, he was here every week. And President Uhuru Kenyatta never stopped him. William Ruto has done the exact opposite. He has not only humiliated and persecuted his deputy, but paid MPs to remove him from office. He has followed him at home and organized goons and police to beat him up every weekend. He has even gone after his children, making sure that they are evicted from their business premises and they don't do business in Kenya. He has even sent his cronies to abuse his wife. So, Aden Duale, don't go into that direction. The man you are trying to talk for, his record before the people of Kenya is terrible. He has behaved like an animal. Very, very brutal and extremely inhuman in the way he has treated his deputy, in office and out of office. I would like Aden Duale, please concentrate on this monster called SHA that is not working. Leave Uhuru Kenyatta alone. Tell us. And I asked you, a company that you own receives 600 million shillings every month in Dubai, when payments for SHA have not been made. Today, as we speak, SHA has liabilities up to 98 billion. And as I said, SHA will collapse in the next 5 months. In fact, SHA was in ICU last year. It left ICU. Today is a walking zombie that will collapse in a minute. And SHA, when it collapses, it will have the most huge corporate loss in the history of independent Kenya. Kenya Airways and its losses will look like a Christmas party.
Riwruoge madongere dendo kanyo ni civil society groups okwayo chungo mapiyo chenro makunyo mula makoro dhi nyime kaunti za dek moting'o kanyo kaunti ma Vihiga, kaunti ma Kakamega kod mano ma Siaya kotenore kanyo kod rem luwo chik mar kunyo mula e puothe ma kamago eko. Riwruogno kokalo migawo mar madini Kenya lero ni nonro margi oseyango kanyo eko ni onge obok moro amora mopuodhi manyiso kanyo ni weg puothego noyie mar mondo mine chak chenro mag kunyo mula e puothegi.
My name is Kawive Wambua. I'm the CEO of Inuka Kenya Nisisi, an organization that is working across the country but based in Nairobi. We came here in Western Kenya, especially Ramula, Munungo and Ikolomani, to do a fact-finding mission because of the work that is happening here and the recent violations of human rights and the recent disenfranchisement of citizens. We come under the banner of Aki Madini, a coalition of civil society organizations across the country. My colleagues will introduce themselves when they start. So we, Aki Madini Kenya, following a high-level joint fact-finding mission conducted in Ramula, Siaya County, Mwibona, Vihiga County, and Kakamega County, especially Ikolomani, wish to bring to the attention of the public and relevant authorities that grave situation unfolding in these communities. The mission was undertaken in response to escalating reports of human rights violations, community intimidation, and disregard for constitutional and legal safeguards in the ongoing operation associated with Shanta Gold. Our key findings. 1, lack of due process and community consent. In Ramula, Mwibona and Ikolomani, community members reported that lawful procedures for land access and acquisition were not followed. There is no evidence that free, prior and informed consent was obtained, and affected persons were not meaningfully involved in decision-making processes. Community members, there are also serious concerns regarding integrity of the consent process. Community members reported cases of consent being obtained fraudulently, including instances where documents appear to bear the names of deceased persons, people who died as many as 20 years ago. In addition, much of the land in question is ancestral land, and in many cases, succession processes have not been completed, neither in some areas have they been initiated. This further complicates issues of ownership and consent and raises concerns about the legality and legitimacy of land transactions in the area. There is also a concern that individuals may be giving consent on behalf of communities in situations where land has not been formally subdivided and or subjected to succession. This creates a risk of misrepresentation and undermines the validity of such consent. 2, the absence of genuine public participation. Community members indicated that what was presented as public participation was selective and exclusionary, with only few individuals engaged, undermining the legitimacy of the process, where community gatekeepers are the ones who are consulted, and then they say there is consent, whereas the real people, the owners of the land, have not been consulted, neither do they know what is happening. There's a climate of fear, intimidation, and repression. Across these communities, the 3 of them, there is a prevailing atmosphere of fear. Many residents are unwilling to speak openly due to threats, arrests, and sustained intimidation, including divisions in the community. There were people who were found in their homes last week, and they were beaten for no reason by many policemen. And so they don't know. In fact, when we came, they first told us that they would have protected themselves because they don't know who we are. So there's a lot of fear in these communities.
Jalopogai mar dun but siasa mano mar Jubilee Dr. Fred Matiang'i wuok oko kendo nyiso rowere ma pacho kaendi mondo giyie giwuog oko kendo gichung' motegno kolero kanyo itelo mar piny Kenya en mano endo makoro ntiere lwet rowere kanyo lose kanisa mar ACK St. Thomas Kerugoya. Matiang'i okono kayo ganda jo Kenya ni yiero mar jotelo maonge rieko ma bende gisebedo ka gitimo kinde ka kinde en gino endo ma bende koro osemiyo piny Kenya ochimo bugo. Jakom madun bura mar party nendo mar Jubilee Muridhi Wakangara bende no yango kanyo eko ni Matiang'i jatelo mapache liu makoro nyaka gikinde ni endi nyalo telo ne piny Kenya kendo miyo Kenya ogo kang' kaka piny mangima.
Please, we should all thank the Lord for being born and being present in Kenya. This is one of our great countries on earth. The Lord has blessed us with a wonderful country. There's nothing wrong with our country. It's the mistakes that we have made sometimes in the management of our nation, which all of us seek to correct humbly and genuinely to ensure that we can be better and we can have a better day tomorrow than we have today. And you young people have a greater responsibility in this, because if age is anything to go by, many of you will outlive the people seated on this side of the sanctuary, and therefore you have a greater responsibility to do more and exert yourselves more in the journey and in the path of making Kenya a greater country than it is today. You have taught us many things. From the happenings of the 25th of June 2024, you've taught us that it's possible to live in this country tribelessly, that it's possible to live in this country focusing on the things that need to be done. And that's why I am so grateful to see so many young people volunteering themselves and stepping into the responsibilities of leadership. I want to encourage you young people. Let us now occupy leadership. Let's not just talk about occupying the spaces we have been occupying. The 2027 general elections should be about young people occupying leadership at all cadres, so that you make the changes that you desire and the changes you would like to see in your country. I love the drive that even the church is supporting of objective, peaceful, inclusive conversation on the future of our country. Please, young people, you are more than those of us who cannot be described as young, which means take charge, take control. If politics is a game of numbers, please take charge of that game as young people. And take it so seriously that you do not allow people who do not make sense to you or who do not offer credible proposals on how our country should go forward to have an opportunity to occupy positions of leadership. The debate now is about the future of our country. So we urge you, I would like to urge you, to boldly and courageously move forward and make your contribution to the welfare, the betterment of our country.
Governor ma county ma Trans Nzoia George Natembeya okedo kang malich me wuoro pedha mabende koro dhi nyime county no moyango kanyo ni tayo kod kweth mag apisas mago bila. Natembeya yango ni pedha maket kod mano endo en mano koro dhi en mano endo makoro dhi ataro mar chik kod chike gweko mabende koro rito ngima dhano. Yango kanyo ni apisas mago bila go tiyo kanyo kod teko modhuro kinde mabende gitimo pedha maggi. Juma chiel kende to ka pedha makamano ne chakore oyangore kanyo no sendhi ojende maromo kanyo 100 to kod 70 kendo chwal gi nyake odang'ech kwayo bar Natembeya mondo mikoro apisas mago bilago ombe ketol e kinde pedha margi ka giyango kanyo eko ni moko kuom rowere mane omaki kendo nochwale odang'ech onge kanyo kod ketho mora mora.
Nyinyi mnaharas watu, mnashika watu, mnapeleka watu kotini, maana sheria nasema kwamba within 24 hours lazima mtu aende kotini. Munaenda kotini kwa sababu hamuna mashtaka, hamuna lolote, mnaomba mahakama kwamba ati watu wakae kule korokoroni kule kwa rumande mkifanya uchunguzi. Na wanafanya hii maneno yote eti kwa sababu Natembeya kwa upinzani. President, kukua kwa upinzani is not against the law. I'm an elected governor, you're an elected president. There's no time the law allows you to suspend the constitution. Haiwezekani. Mambo ya operation ya polisi. The IG has an independent command of the police. Saa hizi Murkomen Murkomen atafutia Ruto kura. Murkomen is politically biased. Murkomen anaenda kufinya mambo ya upinzani. Hawezi kuambia IG enda shika watu Trans Nzoia na anakuja kushika soma katiba na kuambia nini. Na nataka tuombe kama Murkomen alikupatia idhini ya kwenda kushika watu. The law says lazima afanye in writing. Wewe share alikuandikia kuja ufanye nini? Lakini haya mambo ambayo yanafanyika Trans Nzoia yanatukumbusha wakati mimi nasikia tumepanga kukuja. Sasa unapanga kuja kuongea na nani kama unashika watu wote? Hawa vijana wako na ndugu zao, wako na dada zao, wako na wazazi wao. Ile siku utakuja, wewe unafikiri tutaukaribisha wakati watoto wako korokoroni bila hatia? Uwezi kutia watu uoga alafu ndio kuja Trans Nzoia. Wewe ni president. Kuja Trans Nzoia, ongea na watu yako kwamba namna gani? Sio lazima tufanye maendeleo Trans Nzoia ndio kuje. Mimi najua kuna maendeleo umetufanyia, lakini Trans Nzoia iko Kenya. Kama unataka kuja kusalimia na uende ama namna gani?
Ogai maru nbut siasa mar Safina Jimmy Wanjigi kwa Uganda jo Kenya mondo kinde duto ka giero jotelo gine kanyo ni giero jotelo mabende nyalo tero kanyo piny Kenya e rang'eny machielo kalore kanyo kod Wanjigi en jotelo masani koro rito piny Kenya kaachiel kod kwethno endo bende balo kanyo kod serikal ok gin jogo mawinjore mar tayo piny Kenya. Wanjigi ne loso e gwenge kuma Karemo e kaunti ma Siaya e kinde mabende no dhi yawo kanyo bada pisi mar e kaunti no. Kwa hiyo kanyo ngana jo Kenya mondo mi bi ugogoko kinde ma yiero romo higa mar 2027 mondo mi rutne ombulu e gobo mare mar bedo ker mar piny Kenya.
Wengine wakija hapa ati kuambia nyinyi ati mnataka power. Wamuonyeshe formula. Wamuonyeshe formula. Kwa sababu wale ambao wanasema unaenda na ule mjamaa hawana formula yake. Hata simuona wanaanza kubabaika sasa. Si wanababaika sasa. Wameona Kasongo ni muongo. Kasongo ni trick master. Kasongo ni con man. Si ni yule Kasongo ambao tulikuwa najua zamani. Yule alikuwa anatuambia mambo ya stadium. Si ni yule mjamaa. Yule aliiba kura za baba. Yule. Sisi siasa yetu katika Safina si ya matusi. Ni kusemana tu ukweli ya mambo. Ukweli ya mambo ni hivi. Na hii, this is a question to the people here. This is a question to the people here. Muko na hela kwa mfuko? Muko na hela? Si Kasongo alisema watarudisha pesa kwa muko nayo. Aha. School fees munalipa. Aya, sha munalipa. Vijana naona muko wengi hapa, muko na kazi. Ndio nimefika Siaya. Kuambia nyinyi, mimi nimekuwa na nyinyi. Na mimi nataka namuuliza tu kitu kidogo sana. Nikienda kwa ballot, mkiona mimi, mkiona Kasongo, mukiona mimi nikiwa na pinki ponki, mukiona Kasongo akiwa na ule mtu yake, alafu kuna wengine labda watakuja hapa waseme hata wao wamekuwa na nyinyi. Kuna rafiki yangu Kalonzo Musyoka, kama munaona yeye na munaona Jimmy Wanjigi na pinki ponki na Kasongo na ule mtu yake, mutanipatia kura? Na muomba munipatie kura. Na hiyo ndio noa. Muingie kwa hii Safina. Na muingie kwa wengi. Iwe hapa. Kwa sababu vile naangalia vile ODM inapelekwa, naona mimi ndio nitaokoa watu ya hapa Siaya. Sisi ndio tutaokoa watu wa hapa Siaya. So nauliza nyinyi, mutanipatia muweke mkono juu.
Gikanyo bende makela giko mar mi weche manyien yo machuok kidinyendi mar Podho Chieng. Med mana kete wang jowi mar Kala TV janeno mar weche manyien geki bende biro ni kaende kumalo kanyo sa chiel ma midhiambo e yonendo ombana dimba. Nyinga Interest yo uma oriti masani.